Pure Conveyancing. Thanks for joining me again on another video on conveyancing topics. Today we're going to talk about the cooling off period, and this is a cooling off period for New South Wales contracts. Just a word of warning about the cooling off period with New South Wales contracts. It's quite a complex topic and you really need to get legal advice on this. Sometimes the cooling off period doesn't apply to certain properties, and also it can be waived with a certain document. So you want to obtain excellent legal advice on the topic of cooling off periods. I'll be happy to help. My contact details are below. So when would you use a cooling off period? Now the cooling off period is 5 business days from exchange of contract. So that period of time can be used to obtain your finance approval or obtain a pest and building report, a strata inspection, or any investigative searches that you might want to do, just to tie up some loose ends that maybe you didn't get to do prior to signing the contract. If the contract is terminated under the cooling off, then the purchaser would advise the seller's representative, and that's obviously done through the purchaser's legal representative. So the purchaser's legal representative would contact the vendor's legal representative to let them know that the contract is now terminated under the cooling off period. There is no reason to be given whatsoever. You don't have to let them know why you are cooling off. It's literally stating that the contract is terminated under the cooling off period in accordance with the contract, and that occurs. Now the cooling off period has an expiry date, so if we exchange the contracts on Monday and then all the rest of the days are business days of that week, then the cooling off period expires 5 p.m. on Friday that same week. Now with the expiry of the cooling off period, because it expires on the Friday, say at 5 p.m, then the purchase legal representative will need to exercise their right of terminating the contract within that time period. The cooling off period expires, so once we reach that 5 p.m. on that 5th business day, that contract is now unconditional or relying on other conditions that may be applicable to the contract. But that cooling off period is now expired on the 5th business day. Now just say the purchaser wants to terminate the contract under the cooling off period, then the purchaser is charged 0.25% of the purchase price as a penalty for payment to the vendor for terminating under the cooling off period. So that generally comes from the deposit that's held at the real estate agent or wherever it may be, and the rest of the money is returned to the purchasers. Now I get this question a lot. Does the cooling off period apply to a vendor, that's a seller? Well, the answer is no. Fortunately for the purchaser, there is no cooling off period for a vendor, and unfortunately for a vendor, there is no cooling off period for vendors. So the vendor has a legal obligation generally to complete the contract once the contract is exchanged, and they don't have a cooling off period. Thank you for watching this video on cooling off period for New South Wales contracts. If you've got any questions, please comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any more topics on conveyancing issues. If you'd like to comment below, I would love to hear your experience of a cooling off period. Have you terminated a contract under a cooling off period, and what was your reason behind it? I would love to hear from you, and if I can help you with your conveyancing, please contact me. My details are all below as well. So lovely to meet you. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you on another video. Bye for now.